Welcome to the Balance and Flow Show. My name is Jenny DuFresne. I'm the host of this show designed to help you thrive in uncertain times. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, share this with a friend, or jot down a comment below on the topic of today's show. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy.
Hey leaders, happy day. It's Jenny DuFresne. I'm coming in this space to share something that I'm not sure that I'm ready to have in the bigger platform in terms of my entire Facebook page or Facebook community. But I just felt like this is actually a space for this particular conversation to be shared. One, because I think it's a really powerful conversation for leaders and a really powerful reflection for leaders. No matter if you're building your business, if you are, you're in your regular job, you're running a division or department. This particular conversation is one that is really critical to have, and a lot of us don't have it. So I am in day 2 of remembering a dear friend of mine who slipped away and took wings and took flight yesterday morning. And I've been thinking a lot. This particular friend and I have traveled together for many years, both done really amazing and extraordinary things. And in the end, I think I've been really reflecting on legacy. And my deep reflection, my deep contemplation, my deep wondering has actually caused me to have a conversation last night with another friend of mine, Jean, who is building this extraordinary organization in Africa called Read Across Africa, in Kenya, called Read Across Africa. And I had the courage actually to share with her and to call her forward because of a lot of the stuff that I'm thinking about with my friend in my own life, frankly. And so I have 5 things that I want to share. I posted earlier Beyonce's video, I Was Here. I happened to stumble across it tonight. I've never heard it. I don't tend to watch or listen to Beyonce that much, although I do have her Lemonade album, just saying. Hey, Orshika, thank you. And so I was thinking, I was listening to her video, or her song, I Was Here, and thinking about my friend and thinking about leaders and thinking about all of us who are really looking to do something to shift the universe in some way. And thinking about my conversation that I had last night with my friend Jean. She posted a video about it on her Facebook, and I happened to be in it because I encouraged her to go on a date, among some other things. But I just want to share with you guys 5 things that have really been resonating for me as I think about legacy, but most importantly, when we're focused building our legacies, we need to remember 5 things. I made notes. Whoops! I made notes, of course. So the first is, as Beyonce was saying, when you get to the end of your life and you want to say, I've done everything that I wanted to do, right? And I think one of the things that we don't talk a lot about is we can do the things outside of us. We can build empires. We can transform thousands and millions of lives. But if we miss some really important things, I think we leave a big missing in the world. Like I remember Mahatma Gandhi, who was married and I believe had children. As he progressed into his work, he actually spent less and less time with his wife and his children. I know he had a wife. I think he had children as well, but he spent less and less time as he became, as he went through his progression from being a lawyer into being a man who was nonviolent, and his nonviolent resistance was actually the one thing that shifted the balance of how Indians currently live their lives out from underneath colonial rule by the British. But as he did that, he became celibate. And that had a tremendous impact, obviously, in his relationship. I even think that he moved into a separate house or space so he wasn't tempted by his wife. And I think about the fact that she stayed in that situation. She stayed in that marriage. And so he just popped in my head, actually. So the 5 things that, as we're building legacies, I think are really super important for us to remember. The first is, when you want to leave your mark, when we think about leaving our mark, the most important mark that I would hope that you leave is the mark of love on your family and your friends, right? So if you leave the mark on people way outside of your family and friends, it's only half the legacy, right? Or maybe even more than that, because those are the people that have often held you up. They're the people that, ironed your clothes, or the people that made you meals, or the people that loved you when no one else did, or that supported you when nobody else did. And so the first thing is, you think about your legacy, remember to leave your mark of love on your friends and your family, the people you love the most, the people who are there for you, the people who hold you, the people who sing your praises when other people are not. So that's the first thing. The second is, in the face of hurt and disappointment and fear, that often causes us to withdraw and to shut down and to limit. It's so important to recognize that is what has happened, recognize the impact that it has had on your personhood, and then step forward again like you've never been hurt. And I think that is so incredibly difficult. I sit with that now. I had been in a relationship for 8 years solid, and then on and again, off again for 30 years, for a long time. And there were relationships in between that. But what I realized, and what I've continued to really unpack and uncover, is that there's a part of me that is unwilling, to step back out. And it's something that I have to work on and be very diligent about, because in the face of pain and disappointment, it is very easy, very, very, very easy to withdraw, and to actually do it in a way that is almost unconscious. You don't even really realize that you're withdrawing anymore, that the disappointment or the pain or the missing or whatever happened, like that it can cause you to actually just create a new way of being, but that new way of being is very limiting. And it usually means that you're not, or we're not, or I'm not being fully expressed with everyone that I possibly can be fully expressed with. So in the face of hurt and disappointment and pain, and particularly with people that we love or from people that we love, it's really important to step forward again as if that disappointment, that hurt, that pain had never happened. And so stepping forward with a new heart. The third thing is, include those that you love, those you call your family, those you call your friends. Include them in your life, like in the parts of your life that you may not be really super proud of, or you're proud of your decisions. Include them in the parts of your life that are tender. Include them in the parts of your life where you are afraid to ask for help. Include them in the parts of your life where everything that is in you wants to keep them out. But I think that's the place to allow them to come in. I think that's the most important place, actually, to allow them to come in, because I think when I'm protecting myself, and not allowing myself to be seen, or to allow those people that love me to come in, it's really that's that part in me that if I can release it, I'll actually get more back from it. We'll each get more back from it than we could ever imagine. So my third point or thought is to include those you love in your life, and particularly in the parts of your life where you're tender, where maybe you're protecting yourself because you just can't tolerate another minute of pain. But there are those that are around you that love you and that are there to support you. And so be mindful to open your life to them. I have to be mindful of it. So I just share with you guys, same thing, be mindful of it. Particularly as leaders, we tend to withdraw from the world because sometimes it's really painful to be in a leadership role and to suffer the things that we suffer, because we are the one and only decision maker, and everything stops with us. And so I just share that. The other, I guess this is my fourth point, is shatter your own complacency. So it's so easy to accept the way that we become. It is so easy for me to accept the way that I've become. So in the face of adversity, in the face of pain, in the face of struggle, it has been easy for me to accept the new way of being that I have in the world, that I am in the world. And so I have to be diligent about shattering my complacency, shattering the fact that I haven't done the work that I need to do to build a new community, shattering the complacency that I have that it's okay for me to be single, shattering the complacency that I have around just not having some of the things that I've wanted to have. And the complacency is that I've been like okay with it, right? And in essence, I'm really not. But for each of you, each leader, like shatter your own complacency, because when you shatter your complacency, it causes you to elevate. It causes you to rise up and to be someone new. It causes you to pull yourself forward into a new way of being, a new way of seeing, a new way of loving, a new way of living. And so my fourth remembrance is to shatter your own complacency, where you're not fully living, fully expressed. Get underneath that, shatter it, disturb it, disrupt it, and step out and create something new, something that gives you life and something that gives your life to other people, especially those that are close to you. The final thing that I would have, and this is to all of our friends, or those friends who someone that I'm talking about right now. Like you have a friend who's in a leadership role. You have a friend who's become complacent with her life or his life. You have a friend that is leaving a mark on the world, but not involving their friends and family in love. As a friend, my challenge to you is to call your friend out. I had a conversation with my friend Jean last night that I actually was really uncomfortable having, because I didn't want to tread in her privacy. I didn't want to be disruptive. I didn't want to get the backlash of her wrath, should it be there, because I created that it was going to be there. And so if you have a friend who has become complacent in his or her life, if you have a friend who is living small inside of their own skin, if you have a friend who is just treading water and not really living, and not being vibrant and not including you, if you can see in your friend that there are places that she or he is not talking about, and you know they're really important because you know that's what makes life worth living, have the courage to say something. Have the courage to ask the question. Have the courage to do it in love. Have the courage to stand when they get upset back at you, because they don't want to hear it, because you're disrupting their complacency. But have the courage. I wish I would have had more courage. Had to. So, I hope you share this with somebody that can use it. Be a blessing to people. Be a blessing. So, wherever you are in the world, love your family, love your friends, love yourself. Shatter your own complacency. Disrupt your friends who are complacent. Disrupt your friends who are complacent. So with that, I just thank you guys for listening. Share this with someone that might need it. Especially those that are busy leaving legacy, building legacies, and have forgotten that the most important legacy to build is a legacy of love, is a legacy of support, is a legacy of elevation, is a legacy of expansion of our families and our friends and ourselves, and then the rest of the world. So that's my message to myself. And I hope maybe someone out there is touched by this. So have a great night.